Good morning, welcome to Love Answers, and today we're going to be doing some Love Is cards, and these are all based around questions and kind of thoughts that come up when we're going through heartbreak. And basically I'm just going to give my views and my experience on how to deal with those or how to see them differently, because sometimes when we see them differently it can alleviate our suffering. And everything about this channel is about easing suffering. Basically, when we go through heartbreak, we always have this perception that time is the greatest healer. And I think what time does, time allows us to reflect on the situation and gain a different understanding. So what I'm trying to do with the channel, or what I'm sharing, is taking my experience, giving you that understanding so that you can accelerate the healing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some Love Is cards, which are based on those thoughts and questions, and then I'm just going to kind of give you my views, etc. So please bear with me because I'm obviously new to this, so there'll be some learning curves along the way. So if I stumble, blah, 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 then we're all human and we just kind of go with the flow. Okay, so the first one is Love Is Enough. And the second one is Love Is Inspiration. So why I chose Love Is Enough is because I believe that the love of the self is enough for everything we need for this life path. And the reason I say this is because obviously I've been in relationships, I have been married, I'd had many different journeys. And what I learned on those journeys after coming through all of that is when you connect to yourself and the love of the self, that is the greatest love of all. And yet we have this perception, and I guess it's from childhood, where, you know, someone's going to come along on the white horse and whisk us off, whatever gender you are. You know, we all have this kind of romantic fairy tale, and I think that's amazing because like the romance is beautiful, etc., etc. But the greater journey, the greatest love, is when you connect with yourself on that journey. And I think that comes back to love is enough because you are enough, and we're all enough if we just live our true purpose. And what I'll be sharing on here is tips and tools, techniques, courses, etc., to help you to connect to yourself, to see yourself differently, to enhance your gifts and your talents so that you can accelerate on that journey and experience that pure love of the self. So love is enough because you are enough. And the next one, Love Is Inspiration. Inspiration is one of the most amazing things. I think a life without inspiration is a life not lived, because we need to have that inspiration to create, to move forward, to have dreams, ambitions, to aspire to new things and to grow and evolve. So do things that inspire you, find things that inspire you, find people that inspire you. And I think when you're going through heartbreak, you know, we search. It's such a great thing, you know, so much of it when we think of heartbreak, we look at the negative, but there are, like with any situation, there are so many positives. And I think heartbreak is one of our greatest teachers, because in those moments we do begin to search, we do look for things to inspire us, to make us feel better, to make us feel like we want to get out of bed, because, you know, most of us pull the covers over our head and cry, or we lay on the bathroom floor crying. You know, the bed and the floor are two of the saviors in heartbreak. I think if you speak to anyone who's going through heartbreak, you'll hear them say, I was on the bathroom floor, on the bedroom floor, just looking up and saying, help me. And or you pull the covers over your head and you retreat. Those two things are very significant. Pulling the covers over to retreat are almost going into hibernation. And we go into hibernation to restore, to recuperate, to revive. And when we lay on the floor and we look up saying, help me, we know there's more. We have a natural instinct to know that there's more out there, there's more to learn. So use the heartbreak as a time to learn, to evolve, to inspire. And just even if it's once a day, you look for something, a quote or something positive, it will change things. Now, for those of you who've been to my channel before, will know these videos are going to be quite short and sweet, because when you're going through something like this, attention span, you just cannot be bothered to listen to too much. So I'm keeping them short and sweet. Now, I'm going to give you a quote, and what I'd like you to do with the quote is to apply this to yourself and think about yourself, not someone you love, someone you've lost. Think about you when you read this quote, and think about the positive things about you, and then write them down. Write down all the things that are positive about your nature. Okay, so I'm just going to hold it here, and I'm going to allow you to read it. So remember, apply it to you. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do is I'm just going to light a candle, which I'd like you to do as well, because a candle brings light, it brings life, it brings energy. Doesn't matter what the weather's like, just light a candle, because it will bring light into the room, and it will bring life. And when we're going through heartbreak, light and life are the two things that we desire that will bring us back. Okay, so that's it for today. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.